Hi, Mrs. Hurd. I hope you're having a great day. This is Lamai here, and my speech will be about why pit bulls are not a vicious breed. I will say a quote once written by Dr. Martin Luther King. He once said, "I look to a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of the character." And as members of the millennial generation, we are taught that it is unacceptable to judge people by the way one looks, dresses, or talks. But my question is, why is it excusable for you to judge my four-legged companion based on the way she looks, the way she builds, or the way her bark sounds? I experienced this stigma around pit bulls firsthand from my mother. She did not like pit bulls because of what she would hear on the media of them being aggressive, they bite, and they're just fighting dogs, period. And it was funny to me, and it was so ironic because we as a family, we love dogs. We have so many dogs, but this one particular breed she would not like, and I did not understand why. It was until one day my father brought home a pit bull itself for my mother to see that it was not aggressive. They are not as aggressive as they seem. When I had my pit bull, I experienced the society stigma of these pit bulls firsthand because me and my father would get so many tickets, warnings, and encounter police so often because of the type of pit bull that I had. And it was confusing to me because my 6-month-old puppy is the sweetest thing that one could ever meet. She's not chasing anybody. She's not biting anybody. It was crazy to me. Then I did more research and I came across Pamela Babcock, and she gave information that people receive punishable treatment and are unable to travel to a lot of places because of the stereotypic fear that people have for these dogs. So I wanted to talk about this situation because pit bulls are very misunderstood in today's society, and I wanted to help change people's opinion of them. Pit bulls have a stereotype of always being aggressive and are seen as monsters. But they're actually a very loving breed, and we need to understand what is the cause of their behavior, how to solve the situation, and why should we take action to help them. First things first, the problem is the people, not the pit bulls. There are common owner errors that we need to make sure that these dogs are under the right care of owners. Sometimes these dogs fall into the wrong hands of owners and are raised based on what their owners have only taught them. Based on the information for pit bull's bad reputation, it is not the dog, it is the people raising the dog. We as people need to report if we see someone mistreating these dogs. And according to ASPCA, every dog has the capacity to be aggressive, but with the proper training and supervision, we can raise these dogs to be the proper fit of society. My second reason that the dog's personality depends on the owner's personality. If the owner is playful and spend time with their dogs and let them expel the energy that they have pent up throughout the day, the dog will be very happy. However, if the owner leaves the dog in a cage all day, it can alter their personality, making them aggressive from the built up energy and stress it comes from being in a small, compressed space. And it's not their fault. Dogs are meant to be free, wild animals. They are not meant to have them free to take it away from them just like that. And my third reason is that we need to prevent and stop listening to the media's biased opinions. According to John Davidson, social media greatly influences our perception of nature and the behavior of dogs. In stories from the reporters, people will feed off the overzealous stories because they post about pit bulls. Because pit bulls attacks are seen more newsworthy. I'm sorry. The media flaunts on pit bulls because of their aggressive looks, and it makes people think they're non-compassionate, mean dogs. However, according to Sarah Enos, if you look into the history of pit bulls, you will know that they were originally nanny dogs. They were family companion dogs before 2007, and when people changed their image into fighting dogs because of their aggressive looks themselves. It wasn't because the pit bulls were aggressive, it's because they look aggressive. The media posts so much inaccurate reports and statistics of pit bulls' bite records, and Sometimes these reports are wrongly misidentified. And it's crazy. According to Hearst, these bites can happen for any reason. It can be from past trauma, or these dogs have already been living on their own through survival, and that mentality will still stick to them. It's not the dog's fault. That's how they were raised. And it's just crazy. Next is that there are ways to change the stigma of surrounding dogs. Owners can have their pit bulls participate in training programs for bite prevention and behavior. According to Hearst, training programs are good for teaching dogs how to properly behave and act in societal situations around people without using any abusive tools such as choke collars or shock collars. And that's a good way to teach your dog, because it doesn't make them so scared of humans because of the abusive ways that people can teach their dog something. Another step that we can take in order to solve the situation is that there are ways in educating yourself how to work around this stigma that their dog may have. Veterinarians are good for giving advice. They will teach you how to watch your dog's body language in any situation that may influence your dog to become aggressive. According to Pamela Babcock, certain situations may cause dogs to become distressed, such as an unfamiliar person or dog or unfamiliar environment, which can provoke this anxiety. And it's not just one dog, it's every dog. So please remember that. My third point is that your dogs need to be in a loving and caring home. Dogs feed off energy. Treat them as your family and provide for them, and they will become your loyal companion through thick and thin. It's up to you to take action to save these dogs. Taking action to help these dogs will change the stigma and making societies accept the way they are. It will allow states to lift these bans, and the owners will be allowed to travel with their dogs without receiving any ticket fines or be sent home. If we don't take action, they will end up in more shelters and be euthanized. They are the top breed of being euthanized in shelters. If we don't take action, more of them will end up in the shelters, and this stigma will never change. In the end, don't judge a book by its cover. Pit bulls are misunderstood because of the stigma society has inaccurately expressed about them. Pit bulls are just like any other being. They are raised of what they've known throughout their life. If they are raised in a loving home, they are the compassionate, loving nanny dog they were in the past. However, there are people who raise them as fighting dogs. These people who raise them as fighting dogs, and that's where the aggressive stigma comes from. Pit bulls are just like any other dog. Treat them as family, and they will give you their loyalty in return. Raise them to learn how to act in societal situations properly. Understand what causes them to behave a certain way, and understand their body language to prevent any uncertain situations. I hope you enjoyed my speech. Have a nice day.